Last time I made a Wii video, I talked about Wii Play and its sequel, Wii Play Motion, and apparently it was memorable to others. But now it's time to talk about a game that probably only a few people know. It's fun, it's entertaining, it's underrated, it's Wii Party. Wii Party is like Mario Party, but with Miis, and believe it or not, there's more things to do other than board games and free play mini games. There's a lot more entertainment-wise, and I'm surprised no one talks about this. Last time you heard something of Wii Party was with its sequel on the Wii U, Wii Party U. And that sequel was actually fine in my books, but in today's video, we're gonna get into all of that. What Wii Party is, what to do, its sequel, and why it's not getting any recognition like it should. Before we get into it, consider subscribing and hitting that bell so you can get notified whenever I upload. Now, let's get on with it. Look up the definition of underrated, and then go to images, and you'll probably see Wii Party there. But let's go back to the late 2000s and early 2010s. The Wii was still very popular with gamers and still very hard to get a hold of. I don't know when Wii Party started development, but my guess is probably 2007 or 2008. Mario Party 8 just finished up and it was released. Former president and CEO Satoru Iwata saw the success of Mario Party 8 with it selling 7 million copies. And then he got the idea for Wii Party. Since they always use Mario characters, they decided to give Miis another shot. The last time they gave them a shot was with Wii Play, and that had only released a couple months before Mario Party 8. So he approached Nintendo about it. Fast forward into the future, Nintendo hired some employees from Hudson Soft, aka the developers of the Mario Parties, to develop Wii Party, and the rest is history. Wii Party finally released on July 8, 2010 in Japan and everywhere else in early October of that same year. The game came out with 80 minigames and multiple game modes, so many that the game modes itself were put into categories. Category 1, Party Games. In Party Games there are 5 games: Board Game Island, Globetrot, Swap Meet, Spinoff, and Bingo. Board Game Island, the one me and my family used to play all the time, is basically just Mario Party. You roll a dice to see how many spaces you can move, and after a minigame, the players that got first, second, or third place get an extra dice they can use to roll on their turn. First place players get an extra gold die with numbers 1 through 6, second place players get an extra silver die with numbers 1 through 3, and third place players get an extra bronze die with numbers 1 and 2. A lot of small challenges will happen as well, such as choosing which path is the right one, and rolling a 3 or above to get past. If you roll something below, you get pushed into a volcano. There's also different spaces to land on. Whoever gets to the top of the island first wins. You can honestly tell this is one of the first game-related things they work on because it's literally just Mario Party. But there's more original ideas next. Next is the game Globetrot that I barely even touched when I was playing the game back then. And when I did replay it when I was getting footage for this video, I just couldn't understand what was going on. So I searched it up on the Wii Sports Wiki, and it said that basically your goal is to get a souvenir photo by the time you're in overtime. I really could not tell you much about this because, well, I didn't play it and I couldn't understand it very well. The only thing I could understand was that this game was also like Mario Party in a way. At the beginning of the game, everyone gets 10 coins, and at the end of every minigame, everyone gets some type of coin. Someone that does know how to play, feel free to leave it in the comments. The next game is called Swap Meet, or called Me of a Kind in the PAL version. This one I actually did play a little bit of. The goal is to get 2 rows of Miis with the same color shirt on, but you don't have to get the same color for both rows. For example, one row can have all green while the other is all purple. You can also be a jerk and steal somebody's Mii from their spot. All colors will give you 2 points, while platinum will give you 3 points. The player at the end with the most points win. It may seem simple, but once you play it kinda gets hard. The next game is Spinoff. It's basically just like a luck game. Everyone will start off with 500 medals and everyone will get a chance to spin the wheel. Whichever one it stops on is the one you will get, whether it's losing medals, getting medals, a mini game, or something else. The items that are on the wheel will change after every couple of rounds. The person with the most medals at the end wins. I wouldn't say I played this a lot, but I played it to the point where I remember it very well. And finally, Bingo. I don't think I should explain Bingo to you. Although, of course, in this game, Nintendo had to put their Nintendo spin on it, and I'm not mad at them for it. First, you have to choose your bingo card, and each bingo card has different Miis on it. And there's a case full of balls with random Miis on it. A ball will roll out and a random Mii's face will appear. If that Mii is on your card, you mark it. Occasionally, a minigame ball will drop so you guys can play a minigame, and then whoever wins can pick out any Mii on their card. Whoever gets 4 in a row wins. So like I said, it's Bingo but with a Nintendo spin on it. And that's it for party games. Now for pair games, only for 1 or 2 players. The first game is Friend Connection. You and another person have to answer questions and see if both of you guys got the same answer, and then play a pair minigame and finally see if you're a good pair or a bad pair. The next game, Balance Boat, is literally self-explanatory. You and another player play minigames, and if you guys win, you both get the same weight in Mii and then balance the boat. But if you guys lose a minigame, one player gets a huge Mii while the other gets a really small Mii and then tries to balance it out. The maximum Miis you can put on the boat are 20, so either get to 20 and you'll win, but if all the Miis go in the water, you'll lose. There's also different modes with beginner, intermediate, and expert. The last game is called Matchup. 2 players will compete and try to match more Miis than the other. Whoever has the most Miis matched wins. And then house party games with 5 games. The first game is Animal Tracker. An animal will be displayed and make a noise. You'll then have to guess which Wii remote is playing the right sound. The person with the most guesses correct wins. The next game, Hide and Hunt, is a game where 3 players will actually have to hide in their own house so the other player can hide all the Wii remotes. They'll then come out and try to find the Wii remotes. They'll have like 2 minutes to find the Wii remotes, and it'll make sound to give them hints. Once all the Wii remotes have been found, game over. If all the Wii remotes were not found, the hider obviously wins. Next game, Time Bomb, is basically hot potato, but with a bomb. Just pass it to the next person. The person holding it, by the time the timer on the bomb stops, gets eliminated, or in this case, blown up. Please don't try this at home. You will have to physically pass the Wii remote and hold down a button to pass it. Whoever it explodes on loses. And really, don't try this at home.
Well, these aren't homemade. They were made in a factory. A bomb factory. They're bombs.
The next game, Word Bomb, is basically the same thing, but this time you have to say words with the category that the game gave you, like words that start with a T or something like that. So it's the same game, just with words. And finally, Buddy Quiz. It's where you and other players have to answer random questions about someone you're playing against. Pretty self-explanatory. Then there's the minigame modes like Free Play. Pretty self-explanatory again, just play whatever minigame you like. Battle mode is you in either a 1v1 experience or a 4-player experience. You basically battle each other to see who wins the most minigames. Solo mode is obviously 1 player only, and you have to win different minigames to get to the end to go on the rocket. Every difficulty has increased stages. Beginner has only 5 stages, intermediate has 10 stages, and expert has 50 stages. And an expert is all in one line. Challenge mode is basically you guys just playing hard minigames really. And Spot the Sneak is literally you spotting the sneak. Everyone's controller will rumble, and if yours doesn't rumble, that means you're the sneak. But obviously, don't tell anyone. You will then play a minigame and get points from it, and then you'll have to try to guess the sneak. If you get it right, you get points, and if you lose points. By the end, the player with the most points wins. So that's basically Wii Party for you. There's a ton of stuff to do in this game. You can almost never get bored with it really. With all of this, it still got mixed reviews, with some people saying it's bad while some others, including me, think it's good. It's one of the greatest family games I've ever played, to be honest. It ended up selling 9.35 million copies worldwide. Not as much as Wii Play, but close. But with its sequel, Wii Party U, it got better in my opinion. And speaking of Wii Party U, let's talk about that now. Wii Party U was released in October 2013 worldwide. Even though they're both basically the same thing, Wii Party U offered more than what Wii Party offered, including new modes and 80 brand new minigames. In fact, it's too much that I just can't go through them all. But I will go through some games that were my favorite. Highway Rollers and TV Party is one of my favorites because it's basically the same thing as Board Game Island from Wii Party. But you're on a long highway and you get way more dice than you do in the original. Feed Me from House Party is definitely one of my favorites. You have to choose which person will be the cashier, and then on the gamepad, let the others choose what they want to order. Then the cashier has to guess which person ordered which. It's actually a pretty fun game. Dojo Domination from the minigame collection has got to be one of my favorite out of all of those though. You fight all of these people through minigames and you have to win all of them to maintain your hearts. It's actually a pretty fun game and it unlocks more difficulties after you play each one. Each difficulty has its own challenge, but trust me, you don't want to play around in advance. Those people are hard to fight. Some games from the original return, like Battle of the Minigames and Spot the Sneak. Then there's an all-new category called Gamepad Party. It's basically where you play tabletop minigames only on the gamepad. And of course you have your free play section. It seems like Wii Party U got more good reception than bad compared to the original, but it still got mixed reviews. But I think they're both equally great. They both have a lot of variety, a great way to be entertained for a couple of hours, and it's actually fun when you have friends. But when you're by yourself, it's still fun. And that will be all for this video. Both games are great in their own way, and I'm not even going to say which one is my favorite because they're both my favorite. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more like this, consider subscribing and hitting that bell so you can get notified whenever I upload. Then make sure to follow me on all my socials. All links will be in the description. And also share this video with everyone you know. I'm not going to tell you why, just do it now. And with that, I will see you in the next one. Peace.